As has been proven time and time again, footballers are complete weirdos. Welcome to Halftime Football, where today we'll be running through 12 of the weirdest superstitions held by footballers or football clubs. By the way, this is in no particular order. Number 1. Sergio Goycochea. Argentina's goalkeeper at the 1990 World Cup, Sergio Goycochea, was a hero for many reasons, but he was also the villain of many groundskeepers. At the 1990 World Cup, Argentina were headed for a penalty shootout against Yugoslavia in the quarter-finals before Goycochea realised he needed the toilet. He then decided to just urinate on the pitch, and he ended up actually saving 3 penalties and sending his country through to the semi-finals against Italy, where once more he performed the ritual and saved another 2 penalties in a shootout. While Andres Bremer did score a penalty which defeated Argentina in the final, Goycochea continued this ritual for the rest of his career. Number 2. Birmingham City. When Birmingham moved to their current stadium, St Andrews, in 1906, they were supposedly met with a gypsy curse by Romans who were unhappy at being pushed out of their site to allow the stadium's development. This curse lasted for many years, and several attempts were made to remove the hex, including the 1980s where manager Ron Saunders placed crucifixes on the floodlights, and the 1990s where another manager, Barry Fry, decided to urinate on all 4 corner flags of the pitch to remove the curse. While those attempts supposedly didn't work, a man called John sprayed holy water on the dugout, which apparently removed the curse. Number 3. Italy 2006. In true Italian style, their 2006 World Cup run didn't come without several superstitions or pre-match rituals. Most of their superstitions in this tournament revolved around the toilets. Supposedly, Pippo Inzaghi would visit the toilet multiple times before matches to make sure his anus was fully cleared, whereas in the stall next to him, notorious hardman Gennaro Gattuso showed his more zen side by reading the works of famous novelist Fyodor Dostoevsky while sitting on the toilet. To be fair to them, it worked. Number 4. Romeo Anconetani. Continuing the theme of Italians being hardcore conspiracists, this time we have former AC Pisa president Romeo Anconetani, who believed that sprinkling salt all over his team's pitch brought them luck. He would decide the amount of salt by weighing up how important each game was, and in a crunch match against Cesena, he went as far as having 26 kilograms of salt scattered around the pitch, and to be fair, his side won the game 3-2. Number 5. Malvin Kamara. A lot of players maybe listen to music before games or have a nap to maybe get in the mood or something, but this was not the case whatsoever for former journeyman Malvin Kamara. The midfielder would watch the entirety of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory before every single game he played, as he claimed it calmed his nerves and gave him luck. You imagine you'd get sick of it in a career spanning over 200 games, but Kamara clearly didn't. Number 6. Australian national team. Do you ever wonder why the Australian national team was so rubbish between the 1970s and the 2000s? Probably not, but I'll tell you why they thought they were. In 1969, the Socceroos needed to win a game against Zimbabwe to uphold their chances of qualifying for the 1970 World Cup, and they sourced a Mozambican witch doctor to help them. The witch doctor then buried skulls and bones near the Zimbabwean goalposts, who then lost the game 3-1, so the curse worked. You know, great news for the Australians, but unfortunately it was about to go horribly wrong. Supposedly the team didn't have the cash to pay the witch doctor, who then decided to reverse the curse, which led to 40 years of pain and misery for the Australian national team. This was only reversed in the early 2000s, when Johnny Warren, who played for the cursed side in the 70s, decided to revisit Mozambique and enlisted the help of a different witch doctor, who killed a chicken, and just like that, the curse was gone, with Australia qualifying for several World Cups ever since. Number 7. Raymond Domenech. French people are really strange, and former French national team manager Raymond Domenech was no exception. Domenech believed heavily in astrology, and his squad selections and lineup selections were heavily influenced by this. He thought that anyone with the Scorpio astrological sign was cursed, which meant that as soon as Domenech took over as manager, the international career of Robert Pires was basically over. He also believed that anyone in defence with the Leo sign, such as William Gallas, would show off at any moment and cost us. He claimed that people simply don't understand me, and you know what that led to at the 2010 World Cup. One unnamed French player from that squad came out with the fantastic line, "I know where Domenech can shove his tarot cards." Number 8. Jamie Vardy. Premier League title and Golden Boot winner Jamie Vardy was one of the most electric strikers in Premier League history on his day, with his pace and clinical finishing ripping defences to shreds. Now you're probably wondering, what sort of diet do I need to get to that level? What sort of lifestyle do I have to live? Well, Vardy had quite the routine. He would drink half a bottle of port wine the night before games, and on game day itself, he would drink 3 cans of Red Bull, have 2 double espressos, and eat a ham and cheese omelette. Number 9, Adrian Mutu. Estranged Romanian striker Adrian Mutu had quite the eventful career, but according to him, it could have gone a whole lot worse. Upon hearing from a group of witches that he was cursed by an ex-girlfriend, he explained that he would be fine because he put basil leaves in his socks before games and wore his underpants inside out. Unfortunately, these magic spells didn't really stop him from getting multiple drug bans throughout his career. Number 10, David James. Much like the aforementioned Sergio Goycochea, David James was another goalkeeper who used his bodily functions to his apparent advantage. He didn't quite do it like Goycochea, however, as he would make sure absolutely nobody was around the dressing room before he'd walk up to the urinals and spit on the wall. Those poor cleaners. Number 11, France 1998. As I said earlier, French people are very, very strange, and their 1998 World Cup winning squad was no exception, as the squad were treated to 1970s pop song I Will Survive on full blast before every game. Another tradition was that before every game at that tournament, Laurent Blanc would kiss the bald head of Fabien Barthez, with the centre half even heading down to the dressing room to do it before the final, despite being suspended for the game. That being said, you can't knock it because it clearly worked. Number 12, Midlands Portland Cement. We've heard of the witch doctors and the shamans, but that's only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to African superstitions. Second-tier Zimbabwean club Midlands Portland Cement believed they were struggling in their league because of their lack of juju, so the technical staff decided to take 17 first-team players to the Zambezi River in order to cleanse the team of bad spirits ahead of a game. After the swim, however, only 16 of the 17 players returned, with one going missing forever in a river infested with crocodiles and hippos and God knows what else. Despite their unintentional sacrifice, they didn't even win the game. They actually abandoned the match after going 1-0 down. What a waste of time. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching if you did make it this far. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know down below if I missed anything and what your favourite conspiracy or superstition out of all of these was, and I'll see you next time.